This is a re-upload. I don't know why, but the first segment of the last one that I sent came out blank. So this is the fixed version.
Good morning. It's actually Wednesday morning. Just getting my day started. That was loud. Coffee. I like these cups. They're really big. I mean, mostly they're for camping, but they're now every day. Make some coffee for myself. And I want to talk a little bit about how I measure my fitness level. It's a weird thing. Because I'm not very fit, and I know I'm not very fit. But one thing I do, a bit obsessively, it's maybe a little OCD of me, is I count my steps. And I count my steps for common trips, like to the car from the door. That's a common trip. Or to the laundry from the door. Another common trip. So, if I do it in less steps, I figure I'm doing well because I'm taking bigger steps. And if I do it in more steps, I figure I'm not doing well. Now, I can already tell by how I feel, but it's a metric that, an empirical measure that I can look to. So, for example, it's roughly 50 steps to the laundry room. Now, the laundry room's a bit of a cheater because if I really don't feel well, I'm simply not going to do the laundry. To the car, it's roughly 70 steps. Now, by steps, I count every other step. Like every time the right foot hits, that's a step. So 70 steps to the car. So if I do it in like 65, I figure that's a good day. If I do it in 60, that's a really good day. If I do it in 80, that's a bad day because I'm like chugging along. Some days I feel more like I'm chugging along than others. Some days I feel, a little bouncy. Usually it doesn't seem to be related to anything. I've been feeling a lot better recently, and I think a lot of that has to do with things like carbs. My dad would say things that I always thought were odd, but I mean, he understood carbs. And carbs are kind of like there's the sugar rush, the sugar crash, if you will. And it applies to all carbs. So you eat carbs, your body says, hooray, energy, yum, yum, yum. And then, of course, if it doesn't need the energy, it stores it as fat, which is a problem. But it also has that crash to watch out for. I'm not a nutritionist. My father was not a nutritionist. He, I'm sure, took some sort of nutrition course at university. But yeah, every time I have talked to a doctor about losing weight and diet, other than one really wacky nutritionist who just like had us color pictures of unicorns and stuff. It was really that level of bad. It's like, here's the happy unicorn, she's eating veggies. Here's the grumpy unicorn, she's eating potato chips. And this was to a group of adults. Anyway, every doctor that I've talked to about nutrition has emphasized low carb, high protein. Not full on ketosis, not the full on keto diet, although that's been suggested. The trouble with the keto diet is it's you have to do that forever. You have to keep that level. You blow it once, you're back to square one. But just generally watch your carbs, and that's simple things: pasta, rice, potatoes, bread. Don't eliminate them. Lower the number, the amount. Proteins are good. Fiber is good. Fibrous vegetables are good. Because you still need vegetables and fruit because of the vitamin content. But you can have a ton of fruit and you're getting a ton of sugar, especially fruit juices, which tend to concentrate the sugar and get rid of things like the pulp, which tend to have a lot of benefits, vitamins and so forth. So I'm just getting ready to make the coffee. Please take care of yourself. Stay active. Figure out a way to be active. I know it's not easy when you're very, very fat. Your knees are terrible. It hurts to get up. It hurts to get down. It hurts to walk. It hurts to do everything. Do something. Do this. anything gets your body moving, gets your heart pumping. And that's it for now. Oh, tonight, and I'm gonna preview. Preview. We're doing a stir fry with a bunch. We got a really huge amount of food from the food bank that's really useful food. So we're gonna do a big stir fry tonight, and I'll do that. And you can see behind me, kind of there, that's a big box of mushrooms, and I've already given some of them away. But so we're gonna do some mushrooms. Mushrooms are good. Bye. All right, it's time for another food bank special, and pretty much everything here came from the food bank except like the seasonings. So I have a pot, big frying pan. We're gonna have a wok. I used to have a wok, but it wasn't a good wok and it got rusty. And so, basic stir fry, oil and onions. Get the onions softened down. So it's gonna be, get in there, onions and mushrooms and broccoli and chicken. And all of that, onions, mushrooms, broccoli and chicken, all came from the food bank. So there we go. So you start off with the onions and the oil, because the onions flavor the oil. And that way you get that nice oniony flavor everywhere. I maybe could have managed with half an onion, but it's hard to tell. It's a whole onion. So it's a good amount of onion, but it's okay. I like onion. So we get that softening up. Now, next is going to be the chicken, which I made a marinade for the chicken. Garlic powder, white pepper, ground ginger, soy sauce, and some red pepper flakes. So it'll be a little spicy, but not a lot spicy, I don't think. So you want this mostly to soften rather than brown. But if everything's going to be going to be cooking for a while to get the chicken cooked through. So let's add the chicken now. It's 2 pounds of chicken tenderloins that we got from the food bank, which was a pleasant surprise. So we get that all stirred in and get the marinade mixed through. And once it's cooking for a while, then you give it a taste and see if it needs any adjusting. Might need more ginger, might need some salt. Probably not, it's got soy sauce. We'll see. So let's get that heated through. My new stove gets really hot really quick and stays hot, so I don't want to turn it up too high. Let me cover that up. We got a lot of mushrooms this time, a lot. I'm using this much mushrooms, and I probably have 6 or 7 times more mushrooms left over. So we're gonna do a lot of mushroom stuff. I'm gonna do maybe, I have a piece of beef. I'm gonna do like cut up beef with onions and mushrooms tomorrow. Maybe with rice for the kids. Not so much rice for me. I'm not doing rice with this. You could do rice with this, but again, you want to avoid carbs. My daughter's going to be making a ramen noodles to have with hers, but I'm just having it just the meat and the veggies. All right, next, give it a good stir. Keeping it covered keeps the heat in, keeps it kind of steaming. Oh, it's got that nice soy sauce, gingery, kind of sweet smell going right now. That's good. All right. So we want to get the chicken on its way to cooking before we put other stuff in. We'll see. It's hard to judge stuff this early if it needs some seasoning. I didn't put a lot of soy sauce. Might need some more. Soy sauce isn't magic. You know, some people just pour a lot of soy sauce in, that'll make it Chinese. No, that's not quite how it works. And I'm not trying to be Chinese. It's maybe Chinese inspired, but mostly it's just a simple stir fry with the ingredients I have. I'm gonna throw in the broccoli now, just because it's got to cook more. It's a bit of a hard vegetable. And once everything's in, it's gonna simmer for a while, so we'll stop it and just sort of show the end product, if you will. Maybe let's see if we can rotate that down. There you go. You can see what we got. Let's get it stirring. It's almost like it's a professional cooking show. All right, yeah, definitely might need some liquid. But you know, a lot of liquid's going to sweat out of the mushrooms. You know what? I'm just going to throw everything in right now. A whole lot of mushrooms. And I'm just going to let them sit on top for now. And I'm going to just let it simmer for a while. So we will be back. Maybe I'll try to leave it right there. And it's getting there. I added some more liquid. Oops. Escaper. Very good. I want to make sure the chicken's cooked. I left the chicken in big pieces. I thought about cutting it up. I thought, no, I'll just leave it in big pieces. It's 2 pounds of chicken. So it's a lot. Should be leftovers for this. And you can see it's reduced down a bit, but not a lot. You just chop a chicken in parts. This is a bigger chicken. See if it's cooked. Yeah, the chicken's cooked. So is all the chicken cooked? Let's try this chicken. Yep, the chickens are all cooked. Maybe I'll just kind of hack it a bit with the spoon. Oh, that's good. All right, good. All right, let me just get it stirred again. And get a spoon and try to taste the juice. See if it needs anything. Oh, taste of the juice. Something. Something. Hard to tell. Let's put some ginger and some garlic, I think. Ginger. Good old ground ginger. And we'll put in some garlic. Do. Wrong one. Ooh, don't open that one. Garlic. No, garlic. And let's throw in a little bit more white pepper. White pepper's always good. Oh, white pepper. Good. Give it a stir. It almost needs honey. I know that sounds weird, but if honey, I think if I had honey, it would make that nice sort of sweet, hot kind of flavor. But I don't have honey. And, oops, I'm not going to try to fake it. I have an escaped mushroom, which I will have to find later. Alright, there we go. There we go, done. So I'm going to say that I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to find my escaped mushroom. Not bad. And just let it finish as the heat dissipates from the stove. So enjoy it, or I'll enjoy it. Well, maybe not the most flattering angle, but I wanted to get the food, not just me. So this is not a diet food. This is not a, well, it's not diet food, I guess. And it's not a food bank food. So it's just a food. I'm making today carnitas, which, for lack of a better description, is Mexican pulled pork. It's one of those recipes that I looked up, and so many people do it so many different ways. But there was a core. Sorry, I'm cutting off a lot of the fat. That's one thing, they put it fat side down, and so you don't see how much fat you're getting, and you don't need all this fat. Some fat's good, obviously, but to keep it moist, but this is just too much fat. It's like, I don't know, half an inch or more of fat. So I'll cut a bunch of that off. Sometimes if I'm doing it regular pulled pork, I might keep some more of the fat on. But you don't need it. It's usually enough in the meat. I don't know if I can get much more off without cutting off meat. Anyway, multiple recipes do multiple things. but they all seem to have one thing in common, which was a lot of garlic and a lot of cumin. So the first time I did it, I said, well, I guess I'm just going to put a lot of garlic and a lot of cumin. And score this last bit so it maybe renders a little better. All right, there we go. So this is what they call Boston butt pork shoulder. It's not a butt, it's a shoulder. Start with garlic. You guys have to wipe down the lot of garlic, a lot of everything on this one. Some people might even make some cuts in the meat to try to get it into the meat. I'm just gonna let it soak in as it soaks in. But you know, everywhere. Cover the ends, cover the corners, cover the end. There is a big bone in there, but that'll will not be a problem because you're cooking this until it literally is just gonna shred. You know, fall off the bone. It's gonna cook all day in a slow cooker. Next comes a whole bunch of cumin. I mean, if anything, go more on the cumin than you did on the garlic. And unfortunately, it's got a slower pour over. I guess they think people use more garlic than they use cumin in general. Like it's big holes in the... You might need to pat this because it's already gotten some of the moisture that is holding on the garlic is sort of already holding on the garlic. So a lot of cumin. Yeah, so the other recipes, they have all kinds of things, weird things, coriander and star anise and miscellaneous things that I'm not going to bother buying just for one recipe. But like I said, even though a lot of those other ingredients would change, they all emphasized a lot of garlic and a lot of cumin. I realized that that's what I put in the beans, but you know what? That's kind of, I guess, it just goes with that flavor profile. I need to get more on. Sorry, this is a lot of shaking. Getting some good wrist exercise, I guess. And on the end, you really want it to be just coated. I'd almost say the more the better, but I guess some people can overdo it. All the way. Up at the other end. Okay, good. There you go. All right, put it with the side with the most fat up, on the theory that the fat will melt and sort of drizzle down. Make sure everything's moist. In you go. Let me just wash my hands a bit just because they're little covered. And yes, I'm going to wipe down the spices. Now the last thing is a liquid. Various, once again, different recipes, different. My hands are wet. It's going to be hard to open this. I'm going to open it with my shirt. Sorry. There we go. Some had tequila. One had, this is kind of where this is coming from, jalapeno pepper, like the juice from a jar of jalapeno peppers. So this is pepperoncinis, because I have more use for pepperoncinis than I do for jalapeno peppers. So pour the juice in. And it's going to add some zing. If this was like regular pulled pork, you know, I don't know what you call it, Southern USA style pulled pork, I'd put applesauce. But obviously I'd have a lot of different flavor. And I'm going to just shove a little bit more of this on. A little bit more. I'm looking, there's still some pretty empty places. All right, and then this is going to cook all day in a slow cooker. I keep it on high all day. Some people low. I'm not sure it makes a huge difference, but it'll just cook all day. The flavors are going to all sink into the meat. The pepper juice is going to steam and flavor the meat, as well as the heat just cooking it. And it'll just shred up, and then I'll show you how we serve it. If you've never had carnitas, simple recipe. If you've got a crock pot, just leave it in all day. And yummy. I mean, we're talking taco truck yummy. And that, if you ever had taco truck tacos, you know that's yummy. And here is the finished product. We have the carnitas meat and black beans and corn and diced onion and cilantro and some lime to squeeze onto it. It should be delicious.
Good morning. It's Saturday morning. That was when I'm doing the carnitas. So I'm going to kind of edit it to show the finished carnitas before I do this. So I'm going to have carnitas segment completely, and then this is the wrap up, even though the carnitas won't finish till after this. So, good week, I guess. I think part of it is mood. I think that's a big part of it. I think mood leads to more movement, leads a bit to less eating. So, 513.2, which is 4.4 down from last week. So let's see if we can continue this momentum. It's a good momentum. Um, no big thoughts this week. It's been just a regular kind of week. So I would have to say that I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about the journey. I'm getting more comments, which I really, really appreciate them. Don't stop. Um, Please give it a like, give it a thumbs down if you want to. Please share. I really, I hope I'm having an impact. If not, at least I hope I'm entertaining. So please share, and then subscribe. It just lets me know how many people are interested. Like I said, it's not going to go viral. I'm not going to make money off of this. I've got like 130 something subscribers. It's nowhere near a big giant celebration, but I'm glad you're here. So, again, thank you for watching, and stay healthy, stay safe.